Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi. Joining me today is Michael Mack, who is the Senior Market Analyst with Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. Thanks for joining us today, Michael.
My pleasure.
Okay, so the housing starts data came out today. So the Calgary region saw a deep decline year over year from a year ago, both for single detached and for the all other category, which includes condos and other product. Can you maybe explain to us what the numbers showed for the region?
Right. So the total starts in June was 425 compared to the same time last year, which was June 2019. Starts were at 1,100. Right. So in those numbers, that's around a 62% decrease in total starts. And we can see that a large amount of them were actually in the apartments that decreased compared to the previous year.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about, and and I understand the single detached also had, I think, what was it, about a 30% decline, was that?
Yes, roughly 30%. Single detached was at 218 compared to last year, which was 310. But that trend is like all other segments. They were on a decline. Mostly, this is pretty relevant to the current economic status of Calgary, both from the recent shock in the oil markets as well as the limited economic activity due to the COVID-19 policies and those effects.
So basically, we've seen this trend for how long in terms of the decline?
Well, on average, we've probably seen a decline in average starts since at least November of last year, where that peaked, and was actually on an uptrend until, say, December, January of this year, and then it kept going down. This is both from the 3-month and the 6-month average.
Okay, so when you look at starts and the industry itself, besides general economic conditions, and how the economy is doing, what kind of factors really play into, the data in terms of, when it's surging and when it's declining? Like, what are the key kind of demographics that contribute to the market?
Right. So with demographics, we look a lot at population growth, especially migration. And this includes intraprovincial migration and interprovincial migration. Despite the recent shocks with limited international travel, we believe long-term, the migration numbers should hold up after everything's back open. But short-term, of course, there is basically zero international migrants. And we do believe that from certain demographic research that Calgary, centers like Calgary and Edmonton will have increased intraprovincial migration as Alberta becomes more urbanized.
Okay. What do you foresee for the rest of this second half of this year in the new home market?
The new home market, is that sales or?
In terms of construction, like, do you see it picking up for the second half at all, or do we see it staying kind of like what it's been like for the last few months?
Right. So we recently released a housing market outlook piece on Calgary. And that piece talked about how I think house starts should be somewhat muted for the rest of the year. And this is mostly because of the economic conditions in Calgary and the weak outlook that we do see.
Okay, super then. Well, thanks a lot, Michael, for joining us today.
Thank you.
That was Michael Mack, who is Senior Market Analyst for Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi. Thanks for joining us today.